Good morning. So I'm Andy, the hairy slimmer. You probably already know that. You can see my face up there, look. So first of all, thank you, Vincent, for giving me jelly leg. It's lovely. It's going to be really helpful. So I started I would say my weight loss. I've been struggling about 26 years. And on and off, I've tried pretty much everything. And for the last, first of all, before I get started, I've kind of got started, but I should tell you this really. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I suffer really badly with depression and anxiety. So if I don't look at you, don't take it personally. It's just that, I just will move around and not really looking. So for the past 20-something years that I can remember, it's maybe longer, I've suffered with depression and anxiety to the point where sometimes it's been debilitating and I can't get out of the house, couldn't be around family, and up until about 2 days ago, I wasn't even sure whether I was going to come here, because I've been going through a patch for the last 5 weeks, and I thought, I don't know where I want to go. And then my fiance said, well, you really should go, and I was like, all right, I'll go. So I came. But when I started trying to lose weight, I did everything, and I got to the point where I was so desperate that I tried everything. I tried all the meal replacements, and everything there was, I was going to give it a go. And it kind of worked, and then it kind of didn't. And I went where I would lose 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stone, and then I would put on 10, 11, and that's how I got to be as big as I was. So in 2014, I suffered a pulmonary embolism 3 weeks after my mum had passed away. This will be the hard part for me. So my mum passed away, and 3 weeks later, I suffered a pulmonary embolism. And most people get 1 clot, maybe 2. I had 7 on the outer rims of my lungs. And so the doctor, in the nice way, he said to me that if they would have made their way to the inside of my lungs, I'd be dead. And you would have thought that that would be enough to spur me into action, that this nice gentleman, he was a lovely man, nothing wrong with him, and he said, you could be dead. But I carried on eating for another 2 years, because with my mum dying, depression was at fever pitch. I didn't know what to do, so I carried on. And the thing that got me going is, if you really want to lose weight, there's 2 points that you must hit. I'll talk about them more in detail later. But the first thing is you've got to think enough is enough. And when I got to that point I used to watch the programs like My 600-Pound Life, when you see people that are getting taken out on fire engines and windows, and I'd be like, I'm not that big. And then curiosity got the better of me one day, and I weighed myself. And I was 38 stone 2. And that was the first time in my life, ever, that my weight had actually scared me. To the point where I was told that I could be dead, but my weight scared me more than that. So I said, I've got to do something about it. So I sat, and I thought about all the plans I've done before, and I thought, well, what should I do? And so I ruled out everything that involved meal replacement shakes, tablets, all that kind of stuff. So that left Slimming World, Weight Watchers. I'd done Weight Watchers before, didn't really get on with it. I knew Slimming World would work for me if I just did it. So I chose. And on that day, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll see that the last thing I ever put, whenever I post a picture, the last thing I ever put is #NeverQuit. The reason I put that, it's not a cute little hashtag that I want people to follow me and do. It's something that means something to me, because it's got 2 reasons. Nobody ever really asked me what it's about, so I'll explain to you today why I do it. Number 1 is that on that first day when I started, I said to myself that no matter what, come hell or high water, I will never quit, ever. I'm gonna carry on, and this time I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna get to my weight loss. And the second thing is that I'm never going to quit on anybody that needs my help. So if I can talk to someone, if I can change someone's day, I'll do that. So it means 2 things for me. So I started back to Slimming World last April 2016, so 2 years after my pulmonary embolism. And I didn't want to go back, truthfully. And I sat outside and I thought about it, because I knew I'd be the biggest person in there, and I was. I knew I'd probably be the only man, and I was. And I met this beautiful consultant, and she said, you'll be all right. So I went back, and I went back for a week, and then I stopped. And the only reason I stopped is because I developed a problem with my legs, and it was like almost a temporary paralysis. So every time I stood up, I lost all the feeling in my legs, completely gone. And I was 4 weeks on my couch, couldn't move. And then I had 3 weeks in hospital. I had to go in a bariatric ambulance, it's the most degrading experience ever. So I went in and I got back out, and I'd lost about half a stone over the time. And during that time, I'll show you something later that I made while I was in that period. But I went back, so I've been back now, 14, 15 months. Currently I'm at 8 stone 11 that I've lost. I've still got, around about 15 stone to go. So I'm on my way, and but the thing for me that I get asked all the time is, a lot of people ask me about how I keep going, because obviously with depression and anxiety, I'm not the only person that goes through it, I know that. And the only way I can describe it, and I've described it to people like this before, is if there's a ship in the water and the waves come along and the ship's getting thrown around, all you can do is just keep steering and hope that the waters will calm. And eventually they will. So I have to concentrate when the waters are calm, and I have to really, really be good, and that's when I'll put in the good weeks and get some good losses. And then sometimes, like now, I'll get hit and it'll be like a freight train, and I just have to just hang on. And that's kind of what the whole Never Quit thing was. I just have to hang on, keep going, and my whole drive now is to just inspire people like you, because I watch people, seeing people here today, like Jane, Patrick, Jane, Charlie. These are people that I watch, and so when people come up to me and they say, I really like your videos, you're so impressive. It's like I watch so many other people that inspire me, and I think that's the great thing. I watch Debbie, and I think that's why it's so easy this time around for me with SlimCon, because there's so much other stuff out there. There's so much that you can tap into. There's not a day or a minute that you can't find a video to watch, or you can't find a post on Instagram. You can't find someone that is going through something that you're going through, and that kind of makes the journey a whole lot easier, and that's why I know this time I'll win.